Every year in the NFL, it's a new team. As far as goals go, we have one. Putting a f***ing ring on our finger.
Welcome to the Buccaneers Observer Podcast. This is Ralph Phillips.
I'm Molly Bay.
Today is what? November 13th?
6th. 2020 has been a long year, guys.
Just get it over with. Get it over with. Yeah, man, we got a show for you today. We've got all 22 review. We're going to discuss what happened with the Giants. And then got a little bit of news for you. And then we're going to talk about the upcoming game. How about that? How about that? Trying a new background on me. Got the Zoom green screen stuff going. Don't have a green screen, it's just Zoom, so that's why it looks all funny. I figured I'd try it this year. Or this episode.
This year. It's going to be a year in the next week.
Here's a mess. Haven't taken a shower. It's been one of those days, man. We got halfway through the podcast earlier and then had some technical difficulties and have to now redo it all again. Fun. Y'all missed a great episode.
We had fun doing it.
We were guffawing, and we'll never get that chemistry back.
I know. I don't know what we're gonna do.
Y'all are getting the B team now.
Mm-hmm.
Extra tired. All right. What did we see on the All 22? What did we say about the game?
Oh, okay. I should have had this up.
I know.
Still.
You think we'd be ready after doing this
twice. Okay, we were really missing Vita up the middle. We were getting killed by the run. Whitehead was all over the place in a good way. They should make forced interceptions a stat, I think. Brady looked really inaccurate. And there were a few penalties. I thought that they were picking on Jamel Dean, and the Giants' offense was good at blocking, and they were good in coverage, or the Giants' defense was good in coverage, and that was it.
Okay, well, some of that was true, some of it wasn't true, some of it was a little less than we thought, some of it was more than we thought. This game was very, very boring to watch on the All 22. I don't know what it was. It seemed like the Buccaneers came out. It looked to me like the Buccaneers were looking past the Giants and thinking about New Orleans. That's how it looked. That's how the feeling I got from it. We just did not play with a lot of oomph. We did not have a really good game planning. It was very strange. On the defense, our defense is very unusual. We do a lot of weird stuff on defense. We didn't do that much weird stuff. We just went out there and played basically normal football like everybody else does. It did really seem like we were not looking at the Giants as anything we needed to worry about. And that really showed up in the game. Tom Brady was inaccurate, but it wasn't like a bad inaccurate. It wasn't Cam Newton inaccurate, where he was throwing the ball 500 feet over somebody's head. It wasn't Jameis Winston inaccurate. It was actually, if I were to say, I would say it was almost Jameis Winston inaccurate. He was throwing balls behind guys, down low, too high,
little high.
A little bit. Yeah. It was bouncing off their hands. They should have caught it, but for Tom Brady, it was inaccurate. And I would have to say that the reason why the game was close was because of Tom Brady's inaccuracy. Other than that, we played a pretty decent ball game. Our offensive line played great, our running backs played great, receivers ran good routes. We didn't have that special of an offensive game plan either. We just kind of did the same stuff we do, and I don't know. It was very strange. It was just so boring. It was probably one of the most boring All 22s I've ever seen. If you're watching my videos, I normally have a half hour minimum of clips, and that's with me throwing out a lot. I try not to do more than a half hour. With this one, I had, I think, 12 minutes.
Wow.
10 minutes.
So like half?
Yeah, like half. And I was struggling to find stuff then. wasn't a lot of interesting plays. A lot of
So
interesting,
very like lackluster.
yes, very lackluster. But it wasn't like our guys were out there drinking margaritas or anything. It was just they weren't.
That might have been more fun.
Probably would have been.
Get some tequila in you.
I wouldn't mind doing that right now. Kind of think of it.
I know.
So, it was kind of a struggle to get through. To be honest with you, it was. I went through it really fast because I didn't have to take a lot of notes and do a lot of video clips and stuff. It's just like play after. Are you tired over there?
I know. Sorry.
It was just play after play. It was just on and on. It was kind of like a grind. It was just like, So Brady was inaccurate a bit, and that kept them close.
Did that make their secondary look good?
Yes. There was the one where Mike Evans was going down the sideline, and Brady threw the ball. I think it was like a 30, 40-yard pass. And the defender come up and knocked the ball away at the last minute with his arm. He didn't even turn around. He just stuck his arm out and hit his arm. And we were like, ooh, that was pretty good. No, that wasn't good. It had nothing to do with the defender because Mike Evans lost the guy, but Brady threw it a little bit short. And Mike Evans had to slow down and turn all the way around to catch the ball. Mm. If he would have thrown it, a couple more feet in front of, in the direction Mike was going, it would have just landed in his hand. He would have walked right into the end zone. But.
And those were the kind of balls that Jameis Winston excelled at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we saw a little bit of Jameis Winston in that Tom Brady action. So, but we did not see the Jameis Winston scrambling in the pocket and all that good stuff. I mean, our offensive line played great, and Tom Brady played great. In the pocket. It was just, it was just a little inaccurate. I think you said his hands were cold.
Yeah,
probably.
I think that his hands were cold. Now, I know, he played in New England for 20 years, so he's probably used to the cold, but I think being in Florida for 6 months just broken him of that. Just can't handle it.
I want to say he was wearing his hand warmers, but they were behind him on the back.
Yeah. I think that's where he wears them.
Yeah, and it didn't look like he put his hands in there at all. So, maybe it was a factor. I do not know. But, they were, the receivers, when the ball wasn't thrown accurate, they weren't catching it. It was bouncing off their hands. If they had to reach up, it was bouncing right off their hands. The defensive line, I'm kind of concerned about that without Vita there. It's just we're not getting that push in there, and we're getting these holes that linebackers have to do a lot of work to, keep our run game, our run defense steadfast. The Vita is a huge loss. And then our secondary is concerning me a bit because in this game we had more busted coverage than I think we have all year long. There was a couple instances where Jamal Dean, I don't know what he was doing. We were doing this weird zone coverage stuff, and he just would take the wrong guy, and he would leave guys wide open. I think Carlton Davis did it one time. Bunting did it one time. They're way too much. This is something we saw with the Mike Smith defense.
Are they confused about what they're supposed to be doing, or are they just out of position, slow to react? What would you say?
Yeah, I would say confused. And it only takes one guy to get confused, especially when you're playing zone, and that seemed to happen a lot. It did.
Is there any one person in particular that seems confused a lot, or does it kind of go around?
In this game, I would say Jamal Dean was probably the largest, but like I said, Carlton Davis even did it. Mm. It just seemed like everybody was, like I said, it seemed to me like we just didn't think these guys were going to be a threat whatsoever. So we were just out there, going ho ho ho, we'll stop them, whatever. So what if we mess up? We're just not going to put a whole lot of effort into this, and it showed. They came close, but we were definitely the better team. They were their offensive line did a good job, but like I said, I think it's just more of the fact that Vita's not in there. Golston played well. Nacho, Nacho and Golston play with a lot of energy, but they're just not as strong. And I don't know what to. I don't want to say football smart, but it seems like they're out of position enough to where you go,
I feel
I
like
can see why they're not.
Vita's more like instinctual.
Yeah, and he's just so strong.
Yeah.
And he takes up so much of the offensive line's attention.
Mm-hmm.
Vita, the Ndamukong Suh played well. He, especially towards the end of the game when they were having to pass, I think they were down 24-17 or something like that. And you knew it was just going to be a lot of passing. And him and JPP just started popping off. They were just killing people. But it was more our secondary, not so much our safeties and our linebackers. So Levante David played great. He was the number one guy. He kept showing up on my sheets. Every time I'd write his number down, I'd be like, man, it seems like I put David down a lot. And I'd go back and look. I was like, man, he's like the number one guy. He's done everything.
I love how him and Devin White, they kind of like trade off weeks.
Yeah.
Like Devin had an awesome week a couple weeks ago.
Yes. And you talked about stats. What was it you talked? Oh, you said stats. We need to have a new stat for grabbing the quarterback.
Forced interception. That's
forced
what I want to call it.
Yes. Well, you know how I love stats. I think anybody that's into football loves stats, but the stats are so misleading. They're not the end all be all. They don't tell the whole story by any stretch of the imagination. And a lot of times, I wanted to point this out in this game, a lot of times, I'd say about 10% of the time, the stats are completely wrong. They get the wrong guy on the stat sheet. They'll have the wrong guy for a tackle or for a pass defense or offsides or whatever. The stats, when you look at stats, take that into consideration that 10% of the time, the officials who write this stuff down are getting the wrong guys. Because this happened to me. I wrote it down because, normally when I'm watching these all 22, I'll have the official stats up as I'm going through each play so I can kind of keep an eye and see what's going on, who to look for and all that good stuff, and what the play is all about. And then I'd write down my own stuff. Well, a good 10% of the time, I look and my stuff is different than their stuff. I'll be like, this guy tackled this guy. This guy wasn't even near the pile. I don't know where they're getting at. But that happened in this game where I was, somebody tackled a guy and I was like, ooh, that was a pretty good tackle. Who is that guy? And so I looked at the official stats and I was like, that number doesn't line up. 27? Who is 27? So I looked at the roster. I found 27, and I looked at the official thing, and I was like, yeah, that's who they said tackle it, but that guy's standing 10 feet away. He's just standing there. He's not even
He got credit for doing nothing.
Right, yeah, he gets credit for
that. I would be pissed.
And I see that happen quite a bit, especially with penalties. It happens a lot with penalties. They call the wrong guy for something.
Yeah, and then it's like, if they call it wrong during the game, do they fix it later or no?
I don't think so. I've seen it many, like Gerald McCoy. We talked about that. Daryl McCoy used to have a lot of stats where they wouldn't even call his number, but he would be the reason why.
Offsides all the time.
Or something like that. Yeah. And they wouldn't call his number, and then I'd look at the official stats, and they wouldn't have anybody's number. And I'd be like, well, there you go. So, that helped Gerald McCoy and his stats a little bit. But, so stats are like that. You always got to take that into consideration. And then you're saying we should have a forced interception stat. That, again, that would be a subjective stat. It's kind of like pressures, quarterback pressure. That's totally subjective. There's no definition for what a pressure is. Is it a pressure if the quarterback was going to throw the ball anyhow, but a defender just happens to be running towards him? Is that kind of the pressure? I don't know. And then when they do these pressures, this is what kills me. They don't put out the list of what plays the pressure happened on. They just say, oh, Shaq Barrett had 5 pressures. Well, where at? Give me the play so I can go look at it and see if that's a pressure. You have no way to double check these guys.
Or just seeing how they define it. And I'm sure a forced interception that's probably falls under quarterback pressures.
Oh, yeah. I would give Shaq a quarterback hit. Yeah, I guess.
So,
but
I'm sure.
Shaq
but I'm
Barrett
just
didn't
saying.
hit the guy. He just grabbed him. So
right.
The quarterback grab.
Pressure or a hit.
We'll do that stat. Quarterback grab.
I know. Right.
Sue would have gotten one because he was on the ground. He got double teamed, and they all three fell down. And Sue was doing an army crawl over to the quarterback and grabbed hold of his foot. It was funny.
In this game?
Yeah. And
I bet
I wish
Vito
Vita
was
there.
dying. I know.
Vita would have been laughing at him. What are you doing, fool? I'll never forget that play when Sue did
Detroit.
that.
Yeah.
And Vita was just laughing with him. That was hilarious. So, the refs did a great job. I'm sticking with my C+ thing. I said that kind of off the cuff and jokingly at the end of the game. C is the highest I've ever given a ref crew, but this ref crew, because they gave us the game at the end there on that blown pass interference call, I give them a C+.
I mean, I'm okay with it because of all the penalties that we have gone against us or not been called in our favor.
Yeah.
Just feel like it's karma.
Yeah, and in this game, they had 10 uncalled penalties, which is really fantastic. And I think it was 5 uncalled holds, which is spectacular. There was not a lot of penalties in this, either called or uncalled. But what'd you just say? You just said something. I was going to segue into something else. Dang it.
I forget.
There was one play where Cameron Brayton, I put this in the video, things I found interesting, where it was on a kickoff. The guy comes running down and he hits Cameron Brayton in the face with his hand and then pushes him back with his hands on Cameron Brayton's face mask.
He pushed him by the face.
He pushed him by the face for like 15 yards into the pile.
Okay.
And
did you, like with your siblings, did you ever do that where you just like held them back by the head?
By the head.
Like I was the younger one, so I was on the receiving end of that usually.
That's kind of what this was. Hands to the face, little redheaded stepchild. And anyhow, so he pushes Cameron Brate for like 15 yards with his face. And then when he gets up to the pile, he brings his other arm up and grabs him by the other side of the helmet and pushes Cameron Brate over the pile. And of course, Cameron Brate takes him with him, and then they start tussling.
Tussling.
Yeah, that was one of the few tussles in this game. It's a very, very weird game, man. Very weird.
Did the Giants have more energy than us? Like, were they playing with a little more energy than we were? No, not really.
Not really. No. Their offensive line did a good job. They're
okay, you were like moving your mic stand and you're like holding it and there's nothing there. It's just like floating.
Hover mic. I like that. That's pretty neat. They played good. They played like the Giants. They played better than they normally do, but they didn't bring their A game. I don't think they have an A game.
Yeah, do they have one?
Daniel Jones is just not very good. He's not absolutely trash, but man, he left a lot on the field. We had our cornerbacks. It's hard for me to remember what we've talked about because this is the second time we've done this podcast.
I know.
Our cornerbacks blew more coverage this week than I think we have all year combined. There were so many open receivers that Daniel Jones didn't see for touchdowns. I mean, wide open guys. And we haven't had that in a long, long time.
Thank God he did not see them.
Yeah. That one interception he threw, who was it that got it? Was it Carlton Davis? No.
Sean Murphy Bunting?
Was it Bunting's interception? Shaquille Barrett grabbed hold of Daniel Jones, and he just kind of slung it to the right side, and we cut front of it. All that. Yeah, there was a guy on the left side that if Jones would have looked, who was totally wide open all the way down the field for a touchdown. I was just like, whoa. And that was Jamal Dean, I think, screwed up on that coverage.
Yeah. And he was like wide open.
Yeah. So we had a few of that. And then Brady had a couple too, where he didn't see receivers. But he didn't throw interceptions. He just threw it to somebody else. And I'm like, oh, there's a guy over here for a touchdown. Oh, there's a guy over here for a touchdown.
Was it Mike Evans with the hand up?
No.
Okay, good.
No, one was, I want to say it was Cameron Brate. I can't remember. Go watch the video. I'll put them in the video.
Okay.
So, we just didn't play great. We didn't look like we cared whether we played great or not.
I feel like we get that way in prime time because the Bears game was kind of similar where it was like we did not give it our all in that one.
Which is a shame.
I just wonder if it's the lights. I don't know. Do we choke under the pressure?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I think we play down to the level of our opponent. Like I said, the offensive game plan was nothing. We didn't really try to do anything. We were just like, man. Yeah, defense was out of the way. I mean, we didn't hardly do any of the weird stuff we normally do. It was just kind of a vanilla defense. And our guys, it seemed like they just kind of like hummed about until the end of the game. And then it was like, all right, let's score some points and then stop them. There we go. Game's over.
Isn't that crazy though? Like they're like conserving all their energy until the end of the game.
It's either for the end of the game or for next week. See, we're not out there giving it to them.
Well, so if we play down to the level of our opponent, does that mean we also play up to the level of our opponent? I mean,
we'll find out.
We did for Green Bay.
We did with Green Bay. We did with the Chargers. We did with who was
the Raiders.
The Raiders, yeah. So, yeah, I'm not worried about us at all.
No, I'm not either. I'm actually really excited about this game.
Me too. I'm ready to just stomp them.
I know.
The only thing I'm worried about is our defensive line not getting enough push up the middle without Vita there. We do seem to be getting pushed to the side for open holes in the run game more often, and that's just making it so our linebackers are getting more tackle stats and all that good stuff. But other than that, I do not see a problem whatsoever. Like I said, it's not like we were out there, We
weren't screwing up. That's like a big thing.
Yeah. We weren't getting beat.
Costly mistakes. Let's call it that.
Right. Yes. We weren't out there getting stomped. It was just us kind of ho-humming and winning the game basically with one hand tied behind our back, it seems. Just for fun. We were
okay, well, if we're going to win that way, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So let me see. Offensive line played good.
Oh, did you see the hit where Ali Marpet got the concussion? Could you tell?
No, and he played the whole game.
It's so weird.
Now, Marpet did have a bad game for Marpet. I think he had 4 or 5 bad plays where he just got flat out beat. And it felt like something was off with him. So, and that was almost from the beginning of the game. So maybe he hit his head on getting off the bus because
he got his bell rung at a certain point.
Yeah. Actually, I'm looking to see where I've got the first stat for him. Messing up. Oh, okay. It wasn't until the third quarter.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was almost back to back. He just started having bad plays.
Well, I'm not even sure if it was. I assumed it was during the game.
I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
And I didn't see him on the ground any or, like holding his head or.
But he hasn't practiced like all week. So that's why I assumed it was.
I thought didn't you say he was not playing Sunday?
Correct.
Okay.
He has not practiced all week. Like he's been in the concussion protocol all week. So that's what made me think it happened during the game.
Yes. Okay, so Sean Murphy Bunting, kind of a little worried about him. He has not played great past few weeks. Kind of been a liability. But more so than that, I'm watching him on the kickoffs, and there's one in particular where he kind of jogs down the field, and then the runner ends up popping his way. And if he would have stopped, if he would have tackled him, he would have tackled him on the 30, and the guy ended up running for another 15 yards to the, what would that be, 45 or something.
Pulling a VH3.
Yep, that's exactly what it reminded me of, was VH3 last year. And I was like, oh, Lord, no, here we go. This guy not wanting to be on the team because he's not a starter again or something.
Or he doesn't want to do special teams.
Doesn't want to do special teams. Which, if you don't want to do special teams, that's usually a sign of a not good football mindset.
Well, I just feel like it's kind of a a rite of passage. Like, it seems to me like the veterans don't do special teams as much. It's kind of a privilege. Like, once you get to that elite level, they don't want you on special teams anymore because they don't want you getting hurt there. And so, but you have to be elite to be exempt from special teams. It's kind of, you got to earn it.
Yes, especially kickoffs. Kickoffs is usually, saved for the third and fourth stringer guys and all that. And it's usually the reason why you're on the team is because you can do special teams. So, I think bunting, and this is just pure speculation, like I said, it reminded me of VH3 last year where he just would not put forth any effort on special teams. Now, the kickoffs and punts, not kickoffs, but kicks, field goals, normally then we'll have a lot of our first string guys out there.
Right.
Marpet, Golston, he plays on the kickoff or the field goal team. That part of the special teams, but it's the kickoffs that normally those are the third and fourth strings. You tired over there?
I'm sorry.
Did we say this again?
I'm trying not to. I try to suppress it, but it's just coming up.
Hopefully we got this recording this time. We won't have to do it again.
No.
Yes. Now, we're talking about Barrett and getting those stats. See, here again, this is a perfect example of the stat, how screwed up they are. If we did have stats for quarterback, what was it? Quarterback?
Forced
interceptions. Barrett got one of them because the dumb New York Giants put a third string tight end on Jack Barrett, the block. I mean, he just basically walked right past the guy. I mean, he just kind of threw him to the side. And I'm like, who does that? That had to have been, a assistant offensive coordinator came up with that play design or something.
But who called it? Jason Garrett.
Oh, okay.
You got the booger sounder?
Yes, I do.
Let's do it.
This is what they should have listened.
America, listen to me right now. Stop allowing tight ends to block premier pass rushers.
I mean, it was like he just went right by the guy and then grabbed the quarterback. Quarterback panics, throws an interception. It's like, well, there you go. Listen to Booger. America. So again, that would show up in the stats as a, what do you call it, forced interception. But was it really when, should the guy get a stat for basically walking past a blocker?
Should the tight end get an assist? I mean,
right. How do you do this? It's like Devin White with his 3 sacks last week. 2 of them happened because the quarterback scrambled and Devin White stopped him right before he crossed the line. So that's considered a sack. It's not what you think of when you think of a sack. You think of a guy busting through the offensive line and tackling the quarterback behind the line of scrimmage. That's not what happened. And then his other sack that Devin White got, nobody blocked him. The running back who was supposed to block him got stepped on and left the game. Basically limped off the field as the play was going on. And, so Devin White, you look at him and go, oh, those are 3. He got 3 sacks. That's pretty good for a linebacker. But when you look at him, you go, well, they weren't that impressive.
You stopped denigrating Devin White's stats. Devin Smith.
Devin Smith, according to, who were those announcers this weekend?
I don't know, garbage.
Oh, they were horrible.
Their names are not important either.
We'll just make up names for them.
Yeah.
Like they did our players.
Larry, Curly, and Moe.
So, stats are, a sack is different in any situation. And, whether a guy busted through a double team, and climbed a mountain to get the sack is considered the same as somebody who the quarterback slides feet first and then you walk over and you touch him. Those are 2 totally different sacks, but
there are no asterisks near
right.
on the stat sheet.
Right.
Just like the W's.
No asterisks on the W.
No asterisks.
I wonder if there's going to be an asterisk on this Super Bowl in the COVID year. That's how I feel with fantasy football. It's like whoever wins this each year, you can't really say anything because there's just so much weird crap going on.
No, I think this year was harder for teams.
Yeah,
so
this year's impossible.
Yeah.
Your whole team could be sitting out.
No, I'm not talking about fantasy.
Oh.
I'm telling you.
regular football.
Well, your whole team could be sitting out on fantasy.
All Buccaneers, baby.
All Buccaneers.
Yeah. So there we go. We got Sean Murphy Bunting needs to step it up a little bit. And then, it was just a very, very strange game. It was hard to get through. I got through it relatively quick, though. It normally takes me about 8 hours to get through one game. This one probably took me 4. No, probably 6. Probably 6.
But this game was one of those games that we would have lost last season. I mean, we did lose last season.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's, no matter how ugly or unimpressive the win is, it's still a win. And that's what you have to do. I mean, you've got to close out these games, especially against opponents like the New York Giants. So
yeah.
I feel like it's an improvement that we didn't give it away.
Yeah, definitely. And we got the W. Like you said, there's no asterisks there, even though we played a rather, bottom of the barrel team and we didn't play well. We got that W. That's all that matters. We keep moving forward and nobody can take it away from us. So
That's
here we go.
right.
There we go. So yeah, offensive line played good. It is amazing. You were reading that stat out to me earlier that our offensive line is ranked number 1. What?
We are first in the league. I gotta find. I don't even know if I saved it.
Sacks.
Yeah, for sacks.
Yeah,
sacks allowed, and it was like 3.24% at the time. I mean, that's just incredible.
It is incredible. Tristan Wirfs he's brought so much to this offensive line that even Donovan Smith is playing. No, it's the quarterback, man. It's 100% Tom Brady. It's the same offensive line. The only difference is we got a rookie in there instead of DeMar Dotson.
I know. Yeah.
So, yeah, Tom Brady is a command master in that pocket. So it's probably going to be like that all year. We'll be lucky if we break 20 sacks this year.
Yes.
Yeah. So there we go.
All right.
That's what I got for that game. If you get a chance, go check out the things I found interesting. There's 2 videos up. One of them is almost 10 minutes long. And then the second one, I think, is 5 minutes long. So half the content in this game. Normally, I have to throw clips out. Normally, I have to really be selective as to what I put in there. But this one, I was struggling to find stuff. There's some good stuff in there, though. It's definitely not a boring video.
Well, I'm glad you managed to find stuff.
Yeah. Very strange game. Very strange game. Excited about this one coming up, though.
I am too. All right, let's get to some news, and then we will talk about the game preview. So we signed Cyril Grayson to the practice squad after having waived him on Tuesday. And
Doink.
I know. Yeah. And in order to make room for him, we cut John Hurst. So welcome back, Cyril. I think John Hurst is a rookie. He's one of the undrafted free agents.
Okay.
Antonio Brown joined practice this week.
Now, wasn't he living with Tom Brady?
He was.
Is he still living with him?
Is. I don't know. As far as I know, it said all the reports I saw was that he had been living with Tom Brady for the last week. So I assume they're still living together. Which Tom's in a mansion. He could probably give Antonio a whole wing.
He could probably,
which probably would happen.
He could probably have every Buccaneer fan come live with him, but never even see him. The place is huge. What was it, like 34,000 square feet or something?
Didn't he buy a house? Is this the one that he bought? This isn't Derek Jeter's house.
Oh, he bought a house.
Yeah.
That's not Derek.
Because Derek Jeter was selling.
So he moved out.
I think so.
How do I not know this stuff?
Yeah, you talked about it
Well, I knew he was selling, but I didn't know he had sold or that Tom Brady had moved out.
I thought you told me.
Yeah,
fact check, follow up.
I don't know. There.
I don't think so. Will Golston tweeted that he was put on the COVID reserve list. Although he had COVID in the off season, he had been around somebody that had it here lately, and he's tested negative, but they still put him on the list. He anticipates being able to play on Sunday, and I haven't heard anything to the contrary, so I think he's all good to go. Bradley Pinion this week won the NFC Special Teams Player of the Week, so congratulations to him.
Bradley Pinion did? Or was it Ryan Suckup?
Ryan Suckup.
Okay.
I don't know why. Are you sure? Wait a minute.
I'm pretty sure it was
This is terrible.
Suckup.
Yeah, why would it be Brian or Bradley Pinion?
Just a
The
punter. Why would a punter win?
Molly, get it together.
Because I was thinking
sorry.
he didn't do anything.
I know.
I don't know what Suckup's done
I
either.
know.
Just hasn't missed a field goal, I guess.
Wait, I saw it. No, I haven't even saved it.
I'm pretty sure it was Suckup.
I'm sure that you're right. That's so terrible. Why do we even do this show? Like, we don't know anything. Wait, I had it on the... I know I retweeted. Anyway. Yes. Ryan Suckup. Just... What? Quan Alexander was traded to the Saints. He will not clear COVID protocols to be able to play this weekend, but he will start practicing with them next week.
Who was that?
Quan Alexander?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I was like, did I get that one right? Was it somebody? You're going to love this one for several reasons. Jenna Lane tweeted that Shaq Barrett has a new move that he's been practicing and that he's going to use this weekend.
Oh,
against the
awesome.
Saints.
Yeah. That's fantastic. I'm going to be excited to see that.
I know.
Yeah, I wonder if it's one he's totally made up. He's got some weird
I know.
moves.
And if he's like specifically using it on an offensive lineman on the Saints. That's kind of the gist I got from it. I'm like, if he knows it'll work on these people, he's just saving it up. Per Charles Robinson, who is an NFL reporter for Yahoo, sources say the NFL will fine the Raiders $500,000 and Coach Gruden $150,000 and strip the team of a 6th-round draft pick because of the COVID protocol violations related to Trent Brown's positive test that week that we played them.
Really?
Yep.
Wait, that is definitely all that's happening?
Yeah.
Wow.
Escalated fine/pick were due to being a repeat offender.
Dang.
Because I guess they had already spoken to the Raiders before.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, he'd been fined already.
Right, exactly. So, yep. Costing the team $500,000. Costing John Gruden $150,000. And then they lost a 6th-round draft pick.
Wow.
So.
That's kind of hefty.
Yeah, I think so too. But
remember Jonathan Banks?
yes.
Yeah, he used to be cornerback for the thing, drafted by
Lovie Smith.
Greg Schiano. Pretty sure it was Greg Schiano.
Okay. Yeah.
He is now the secondary coach at New Hope High School.
Oh, good for him.
The Trojans. Yeah. He coached them this year. They didn't go as far as they wanted to, but found that interesting.
That is interesting. Rick Stroud tweeted that we are tied for the NFL lead in interceptions with 11. We had 12 total last year. So we've played 8 games and we already have as many as we had last year. And then Carmen Vitale said that we have 65 points off of takeaways, which is the second most in the league.
Mm-hmm. Tampa Bay has recorded at least 1 interception in the last 7 games. It's been a long time since we've been able to say that.
I know, that is so awesome.
Yeah, I do. You love it. It is just so much fun to have a good defense.
That can just make plays like that.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting.
Okay, do you think we are more likely to get an interception or a sack against Drew Brees?
Interception.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Although, we could do the sack. We'll see.
Yeah, I had to think about that one. I was
know.
like, especially if Shaq Barrett's breaking out new moves.
I know, he's got a new move. I like it's like he's debuting a new move, so we're all gonna be looking for it.
He put the advertisement out. He's marketing it already.
I hope that you can see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for it.
Okay.
Remind me to.
All right.
To do that. Okay, so we got the Saints coming up Sunday. It's a night game, 8:00. Is it 8?
Yes. 8:20.
8:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Raymond James Stadium. Fans, get out there and fill that place up as much as we can.
20%.
20%. Do not sell your tickets to Saints fans.
If you're going to sell them, you got to find out what team they root for.
Yeah, right. That should be a thing.
I know. You can't do it on like StubHub or whatever, though.
Right. They should have that on StubHub.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a fan of this team, no, you can't buy my tickets. Only Buck fans can buy these tickets.
That's right.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. They are 5-2. So here they have lost to the Raiders 34-24 and the Packers 37-30. Both teams that we beat.
That's football math.
That is football math. We're gonna win. We got this game.
They just might as well give us the win now.
I know, exactly.
Come on.
Okay, so here is who they've beat. Of course, us. It was a 34-23 game.
Thanks to the refs. That was definitely a referee deciding game there. We got so screwed on that game. One of the worst officiating games I've ever seen, if not the worst. Just
garbage.
I said my 2 cents.
Maybe we'll get the same crew. We got this weekend.
We might. Who is it?
The Lions. They beat 35-29. So a 6-point game.
The Lions.
I know. How are you gonna let the Lions almost beat you?
Jonathan Banks' secondary school or high school could probably beat the Lions.
I mean, we say that. We shouldn't get too cocky because we still gonna play them too.
We got Tom Brady. Cocky. That's
they
reality.
Got Drew Brees.
Man.
Come on, man. The LA Chargers, they beat 30-27.
Ooh.
And Chicago, they took to overtime and won 26-23.
That was just last week, a couple weeks ago, right?
Yes,
yeah.
It was last week. So if we win, we will have a 1.5 game lead in the division over them, and we would cancel out the week 1 loss to the Saints in the head-to-head, so that would be really important. Mm-hmm. If the Saints win, though, they'll have a 1/2 game lead in the division and then have a 2-game head-to-head breaker on us. So it's really important that we win this one, especially if it's going to come down to later in the season and have playoff implications.
Yeah. So what do you think? Are we going to win it?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
I think so. Because the first matchup, okay, listen to how Tom Brady did. He went 23 for 36 for 239 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 3 sacks for 15 yards, and a fumble. He had a QBR of 28, quarterback rating, and a passer rating of 78.4. Recall also that Janoris Jenkins had a pick 6 on one of those. And then, Rojo, he did okay at 66 yards, only averaged 3.9 yards, though. Not great. Chris Godwin was our leading receiver. He went 6 for 7, 79 yards. Did pretty well. We had 1 sack on Drew Brees. JPP got that. Mike Edwards on special teams. Remember that fumble that really cost us? Drew Brees.
That's right.
Yeah. He went 18 for 30 for 160 yards, which that's so terrible.
Good Lord.
That's week 1 too. Like Noodle Arm, you haven't even played any. Like they probably didn't have him throw any during training camp.
Save
like maybe the last strength. Week. Right. They were saving up that arm strength. He had 2 touchdowns and he did get sacked for 9 yards. JPP, thank you. Had an 80.1 QBR and a 96.5 passer rating. We had 9 penalties for 103 yards, and they also were heavily penalized. Except
holding. They didn't call a single holding penalty on either team, but they held like crazy.
They also have Deontay Harris, their stud on special teams, their returner.
Oh, that's right.
Remember him?
Yeah.
So against Chicago, he had a 42-yard punt return and also a 31-yard kickoff return, which that one ended up sending them into overtime. So it led to the score that got them to overtime. So all that to say, Tom Brady did not play well against this team the first week, and I think our offense has only gelled since then, gotten better.
Yes.
And so I think this go round, we're not going to have a problem.
I like the cut of your jib.
Thank you.
I agree with you.
That's all. That's all I get.
That's it.
Agreed. Okay, show's over, guys.
Agree. Did you go through the injury report?
I did not. No. I still have some other stuff I want to talk about.
Okay.
First of all, Antonio Brown's going to make his debut.
Oh, ooh, yeah.
He is. Yeah.
Is he going to be kick returning?
I don't know. They
That
haven't
would
said
be
yet.
awesome.
But BA said he would get between 10 and 35 snaps.
Between 10 and 35. All right.
So, who knows? But he's going to be out there.
I bet one of those snaps is going to be a touchdown.
Yeah.
I guarantee
At least.
you.
I know.
Tom Brady is going to want to get that boy a touchdown.
Yeah. I think Antonio's going to want to prove himself.
Mhm.
And I think Tom is going to want to show the Bucs that they didn't make a mistake with this.
Yes.
And to prove that he's right. So,
And then he'll probably get cut next week.
he'll do something
just,
stupid.
Just like New England. One game, one touchdown, cut.
I bet he'll smack Bruce Arians with like a hoagie or something. Like get kicked off the team.
I bet Bruce Arians will eat it midair.
So I think, and Tom Brady, he is 17 touchdowns, 1 interception in the last 6 games.
Whoa.
So after those first 2 games, he's just been outrageous.
You know, I can't think of a time that the Buccaneers have had a quarterback that did this.
Those are Aaron Rodgers numbers,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And in the first game, those interceptions really cost us, you know, those turnovers.
Mhm.
We had 3.
Yeah.
Mike
right.
Edwards, and then Tom's 2, the one which was a pick 6. So
That's right.
I think that we have the momentum going into the game. I think we're the better team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the Saints really just haven't looked good, especially the past few weeks.
No, and they are getting Michael Thomas back from, well, first of all, he hasn't played since week 1, since we heard him. We heard
Really?
his ankle. Yeah, he has not played.
Oh, you know that because you got him in fantasy
I
football.
do. That bastard. Which I'm fine with because I'm a jinx in the first round. Like, I'm just going to start picking all division opponents
Please
in
do.
the first round because I'm a total jinx. My first rounders always get hurt. He had an ankle injury, and then he's had a hamstring injury, and then there's been issues with team discipline. You know, he punched his teammate not long ago.
that's right.
Yeah,
I
that was
forgot
like
about
3
that.
weeks ago. So he's just a mess. I don't know what. I mean, maybe he's Antonio Brown 2.0. I don't know, but. He'll be back this week. Coming off of a hamstring, though, you know, those are kind of tenuous injuries. You just never know. And so I'm not sure if he'll be 100%, but he is going to be active. So, and then Emmanuel Sanders has been out also. He's been on the COVID list, but he's coming back this week too. But I'm not worried about either one of them, frankly.
Yeah.
I mean, in the first week, Carlton Davis held Michael Thomas to 17 yards.
You go, Mike.
Yeah. No. Carlton. Wrong guy. Wrong
I
side.
know. I was thinking Mike Edwards, but as soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like,
No, that's wrong.
Maybe nobody would catch that.
I did.
You did
I
immediately. Always looking out for my foibles.
So, Tom and Drew Brees are
Fighting for that's right.
Yes, the all-time. Now, first of all, okay, it feels weird.
Hold on,
calling
we
him
never got it
Tom.
out. Let's say what we're
I
talking
know.
about. Yeah.
Hold on. I feel like I should be on a first name basis with Tom, but then I'm like, his name, just Tom, sounds weird. Like it's Tom Brady, but I'll say Tom. I don't know. It's just a thing I have.
It should be Mr. Brady.
Emperor Brady.
Emperor Brady.
Tom Brady and Drew Brees are fighting for the all-time touchdown record, or touchdown passes in the NFL. They are currently number 1 and 2. Tom Brady has 561. Drew Brees has 560, and they keep going back and forth. So I hope that Tom takes it out to, I don't know, like a 3 touchdown lead, 4. I think he can do it.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Because screw Drew Brees.
I know. Forget that guy.
Not only is he a bad football player, he's a horrible person.
And so dumb. Who invests in jewelry? Like, come on, bro. Come on. Just a simple Google search. Is jewelry a good investment?
We're never going to let him live that
No. Why would
you
we?
take somebody to court
Who
over
does that? Yeah, not
you
only
said
that.
this jewelry was going to...
If you're dumb enough to think jewelry is a good investment and then you double down on it and sue the dude who talked you into that, like...
But then he won.
I know. But there's such... I mean, isn't there an idiot tax? You know? There should be. I can't.
It is so funny just thinking about that. He's like one of those guys that when he's done with the NFL, he's going to lose all of his money.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. They going to prey on him.
I've got some nice jewelry here. You buy this now in 3 weeks, it'll be double the value.
Well, lucky for him, he's going to be so old when he retires from the NFL, he might be able to take out Social Security and he'd be fine.
Dang.
He'll be fine.
You are tough on those old people.
Ageist. We are 22 for 22 on goals to go. So 100% success rate when we are goal to go.
Since when?
Since the season.
We've had 22?
Yes.
Dang.
We've had 24 touchdowns. Wait. Something's not right here.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay, yeah. So that's just goal to go. So when we have to make it a touchdown or a field goal.
Okay.
Yeah. But as far as red zone percentage, we have 24 touchdowns and 7 field goals.
Aren't we 100% in the red zone too?
Yes.
Every time we've gotten in the red zone, we have scored.
Yeah. So, and our touchdown percentage in the red zone is 77.4%, which is third best in the league.
Not too shabby.
And even better is that New Orleans defense ranks last in the NFL on touchdown percentage allowed. So they allow touchdowns 83.3% of the time.
So our goal is to just get in the red zone.
Yeah.
If we get in the red zone, we know it's
touchdown.
automatic touchdown.
Yeah. They have allowed 20 touchdowns on 24 possessions.
Dang.
And 3 resulted in field goals.
How in the world are they 5-2?
Because they've beat
cheat,
the
right?
Lions, the Chargers, and Chicago. Like, not top tier, and us. Like, not top tier teams. I think I'm missing a team.
That's 4.
3. I'm missing a team. I don't know who else they beat.
Was it somebody else in the division?
Panthers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're the only decent team they play.
I know. And they got us before we were really gelling.
There you go.
Falling into a rhythm. So
man, you're getting good at this football stuff.
I know, the football math.
Football fandom.
Yeah. I mean, it's just not even going to be close.
Yeah, they should go ahead and give us a win. I mean, if they lost to Green Bay and the Raiders, and we beat Green Bay and the Raiders, I mean, it's like, okay, the speed of light is 186,000 miles per second. That's established fact. It's what they call a foundation principle, a
constant.
Constant. That's the same thing we're seeing here in this football.
Are
math.
we the constant? What's the constant?
The constant is if you play a team that's lost to the teams you beat, then you automatically get a win. You don't even have to play. They just mark W in the column.
It's football math, guys.
That is football math. Yeah, right. We shouldn't even play because somebody might get hurt
or COVID.
COVID.
I mean,
so just give us the win now.
I don't know. I want to see it happen.
I know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I want to see us beat them down.
It's so much more satisfying. Alvin Kamara is their leading receiver with 66 targets. No one else on the team has more than 36.
What?
Yeah.
Dang.
Well, you got to figure.
Yeah.
Michael Thomas, he's been hurt.
Right.
Emmanuel Sanders, he's been hurt. So everybody else, they got are scrubs.
Yeah.
Or maybe not scrubs, but bottom of the roster. In our first meeting, we held Alvin to 16 yards rushing and 51 receiving, but he did burn us for 2 touchdowns. So
how in the world did they beat us?
I know.
Oh, the turnovers. That's right.
The turnovers.
Jeez. And plus, Tom Brady had never played before with these guys. So a little bit of a factor.
Yeah.
I think we're a little bit better team now, and I don't think we're going to make those stupid mistakes. So, gosh, we held Kamara to that few yardage and Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
But then we did knock him out of the game, right? Or
yeah.
Was it,
yeah.
Was it after the game?
I think I don't know. I think he got hurt during the game.
Gosh, I can't remember.
They had 82 total rushing yards.
That's a lot on us.
I know, but I mean, Alvin only had 15 or 16 yards, and then the rest of it was like 5 other people had little chunks. I think Taysom Hill had the most.
Oh, that's right. I remember that Taysom Hill run. Oh, that's so infuriating.
Well, no, I don't think he did have the most. Oh, Latavius Murray, he had the most.
That Taysom Hill, he got like that 17-yard run on us.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I was so angry about that.
I know.
Ugh.
Ralph angry.
Ralph angry.
All right, let's go through the injury report.
Dang, we're just now getting to that?
I know. We haven't even...
Zip through it real quick.
Okay, I got this. Jamel Dean was sick on Wednesday, but returned to practice Thursday and Friday, so he's all good. Mike Edwards has a groin injury. He was limited Wednesday and Thursday, was a full participant on Friday. Chris Godwin with the finger injury, he was limited Wednesday and Thursday, and then a full participant Friday. So BA said earlier in the week they would know by Friday whether he was going to play. And so I think there's a chance he could. I think he's on the injury report listed as questionable. So we'll see. I think we'll see him. There's a chance we'll see him. But again, it's like we're going to have, he is questionable. We're going to have Antonio Brown. So how much are they going to put Antonio in to see, to make up for Chris Godwin's injury?
Anywhere between 10 and 35 snaps.
I know. Ali Marpet is out with his concussion, never cleared the concussion protocol. So
who is going to replace him?
I don't know. They haven't said. Let's see. JPP with the knee injury, he was limited Wednesday and Thursday and then did not practice Friday, but that's normal for him. That's his day off. So I think he'll be okay. Scotty Miller with a hip/groin injury. He was limited Wednesday and Thursday and then was a full participant on Friday. Antoine Winfield Jr. has a shoulder injury. He was a full participant all week. And Sue did not practice Friday. It was not injury related.
Veterans Day.
Yeah. That's so funny. I never thought about that. I'm trying to see if they've said who is going to play in place of Marpet. I don't see him. Oh.
Yeah, we'll find out Sunday.
Let me see. Okay, he did. Arians, this is from Greg Allman. Arians mentions Joe Haig can start for Ali Marpet at left guard if Marpet isn't cleared. He also mentioned Jensen at guard and Shipley at center, but that seems less likely.
Yeah,
So probably Joe Haig.
Just put Joe Haig in there. He's played well when he's been put in.
Yeah. On the Saints side, Drew Brees had a right shoulder injury. Is that the one he had surgery on? I'm sure it is. Yeah, that's the one he grabs his, after he throws it, he always grabs his kind of collar or his pads right here, and then he does this. Like a shoulder.
That's his throwing shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah. Wednesday and Thursday he was limited. He was a full participant on Friday, and he is expected to be active Sunday, so we will not be seeing Jameis Winston play for Drew Brees. Sorry, guys. Wide receiver Marquez Callaway has an ankle injury. He was limited Wednesday, a full participant Thursday and Friday. Center/guard Nick Easton had a concussion, but was a full participant all week. Defensive back Justin Hardy had a groin injury, and they ended up putting him on IR, along with Sheldon Rankins, defensive tackle, with a knee injury. He went on IR as well. Kamara has a foot injury. He was limited Wednesday, but a full participant on Thursday and Friday. And Michael Thomas with his ankle/hamstring injury. He was limited all week and is questionable, but officially he's questionable, but he's expected to be active on Sunday. Now, they say active, but I'm like, I don't know what does that mean? Like, he's going to be active on the roster, but how much is he going to play? I don't know. They haven't really said.
10 to 35 snaps.
I know. Running back Ty Montgomery has a hamstring injury, but he was only on the injury report on Friday, and he was a full participant. So, good thing they got Ty, because I don't know what they would do. Okay, that's it for the injury report.
All right. With all that being said, give us your predictions. What do you think?
All right. I think it's going to be a close one. It always is. It's always, division games are such a weird beast. So, I do think the Bucs are going to take this one. I'm going to say 34-32.
Wow. No defense in this game, huh? Okay. I'm going to go 28-20. Bucs.
Okay.
I just think that we're gonna stomp them, and we're going to get ahead by probably 3 touchdowns, and then they're going to come back and they'll get within 8. But I think we're just going to end up getting turnovers and interceptions and all that.
Now I'm really rethinking the 32, but I do think it's going to be close.
Yeah. Oh, I don't. I don't think it's going to be close. No. I think it's going to be, within 8 points. But I don't think it's going to be a close game like it normally is. You're right. We normally do play them close, but that's because we've had James Winston and, not as good of a team. Their team is pretty much the same, and we always play them close. Now we've got a really, really, really good team. I don't think we're going to play them close now. I think they're over the hill, and we are the up-and-comers. And the way we played the Giants, it looks like we saved a lot of energy. So we're
extremely well rested.
Does this count as like a bye week?
Yeah, I was going to say, does it count as like half a bye week?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Very strange. Very strange.
Wait, our bye, when the hell is our bye? It's like 13, late.
Week 13.
Yeah, we still got to get through the Saints. We got to get through the Rams. We got
Kansas City.
I mean, it's going to be rough. That's a
the
rough
Rams
stretch.
are the ones that really worry me because those
yeah,
guys are
me too.
Tough. Mean.
I know that defense was just hitting hard.
Yeah. So hopefully we can walk out of that one with all of our body parts intact.
I hope so.
All right, so we're both confident the Saints are going to fall to the Buccaneers. That's not unusual for us. We do see the world through Saints.
Ugh.
Bucks-colored glasses.
Go wash your mouth out with soap.
with acid. Soaping will get the Saints taste out of my
Steel
mouth.
wool.
Ugh. All right, so we put our stuff out there on the line. We think the Saints are not as good a team as everybody thinks they are, and that we are the much better team. So let's see it happen. Let's see it happen Sunday. Any of you Buccaneer players out there listening to this, do us a solid and win, and win convincingly.
W.
Right?
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
All you Buck fans out there, think positive. Let's get this out in the universe. Whatever we can do to help win. That means go to the game and don't sell your tickets to Saints fans.
Yep.
How about that?
Their money is no good here.
Their money is no good. It's dirty money. It's blood money. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. Till next time.
Go Bucs.